What's up, guys? Back with another video here. So we got Kalen DeBoer to replace Nick Saban as the head coach of Alabama. Um, you know, I think that personally, I think it's a good hire. I know a lot of people hating, or at least it seems like they hate. And of course, no one's ever going to replace Nick Saban. Really, I mean, you don't go in and just replace him. Uh, Even if he came in and went 12-0 his first year, you still haven't replaced Nick Saban. I mean, just like nobody goes in and replace Tom Brady. Nobody goes in and replace Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's just people that don't get replaced because they're so good. Nick Saban was a good coach. Alabama found him. Alabama hired him. Okay, I wasn't really an Alabama fan when Nick was first there, but I do remember Nick. I do remember Nick coaching when I was a little kid. I was probably what 7, 8 years old, 6, something like that, man. So I remember all throughout my childhood, Nick Saban being Alabama dominating. All right. Kalen DeBoer, he has a winning record. His record, all-time head coach record, is 104 wins and 12 losses. That's pretty impressive. Regardless of what conference that was in, regardless of what division, it doesn't matter. That's still impressive. He's showing that he can win. All right. And if you go look at these teams' records that he coached for before he even went there, I guarantee they don't even have that good of a record. Right. So let's see. Kalen DeBoer, he went to Washington. So it says now he's the head coach of Alabama. Earlier it didn't say that, but I'm glad that they updated that. But he went to Washington in 22 and 23, right? So let's look up Washington football record 2021. They were 4-8. They were 4-8 in 2021, right? Let's look up 2020 before another year before he came. They were looks like they were 3-1. That was the COVID year, so that was a weird year. And then let's just do 2019. So they were 8-5. So they were 8-5. They were 3-1, and then they were 4-8 the year before he came. He comes first year with him, they go 11-2. So he took a 4-8 team and took them to 11-2. And no one can even talk about conference. Don't even talk about conference because we're talking about Washington Huskies during the Pac-12. And you could say Pac-12 week, whatever you want. But the fact of the matter is he took a 4-8 Division I school and turned them into 11-2 his first year. And then, of course, we all know what happened this year. He went 14-1, went to the national championship and lost to Michigan, beat Oregon 2 times. I mean, dude is impressive. Kalen DeBoer has proven that he is a winner. Let's do this too. I'm just curious. He was at Fresno. He was at Fresno from 2020 and then 2021. So let's look up Fresno. I think Fresno State, but yeah. So this year they were, of course, not informed. I don't care about this year. Let's look up 2018. They were 12-2. Okay. That was 2 years before it came. Let's look up 2019. That was the year before he came. Once again, they were 4-8. This was the year before he came. If you see, he came in 2020 and he was there in 2021, right? So this is 2019. This is the year before they came. Let's look up COVID year. He was with them in the COVID year, and he took them to a 3-3 record. Okay. Let's look up the next year. He took them to a 10-3 record. So if you count the COVID year, okay, he didn't have the greatest year his first year, but then the very next year he took them and brought them to 10-3. I mean, he's taken 4-8 teams. Now, this you're talking about Fresno State now. He's taken 4-8 teams, Division I teams, and brought them to a 10-3 record, and then brought another one to an 11-2 record. Dude's a winner. Dude's proven that he's a winner, and he has a 104 to 12 loss record. You can argue and say, you know, some of that was the Sioux Falls. Yes, it was. Doesn't matter. He's a proven winner, and you see what he's done for Fresno State and Washington. Washington's probably the biggest thing that he's done, taking Washington from a previously 4-8 record to 11-2 the very next year. That's impressive, man. So let's watch this, see what they got to say, man.
Head coach of the Washington Huskies, formerly Sioux Falls as well, is now the head coach at the University of Alabama.
Wow! Shit.
Congrats to DeBoer. He obviously built up a monster in Washington in just 2 short years. I know all their fans and the Seattle folks and the West Coast football people are not going to be happy with his big brain and leadership leaving Washington to head to Alabama. But now he has a system in place where he's going to be able to win a natty if he's able to do it. Now, obviously, Washington was able to get there this past year, but with Alabama, the SEC, recruiting, everything he's going to have at his disposal. With Nick Saban in the building as well, what a perfect hire. He's a vet. Even though he's kind of new to the big league conversations, I think this is perfect for all parties except for Washington. Congrats to Kalen, who I love a lot, and congrats to Bama getting a great one.
Yeah, doesn't DeBoer, and you know him better than I do, but he seems, obviously we know what his resume is as a coach and how good of a coach he is, but he seems to get it. Seems to be a good dude that kind of understands everything going on. He has he feels like he has like a young vibe about him and how he interacts with guys. So yeah, I think it's an awesome hire.
Has coached in a lot of games.
Yes.
Has a lot of experience, loves ball, absolutely loves ball. And I love this move. Congrats to him. Congrats to Jimmy Sexton as well. The agent for Saban, and DeBoer, and Norvell, and Sarkisian. Everybody's getting raises.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting raises. Congrats to them all.
So, I mean, I think he's a good hire. Right? Congrats to Alabama for going out and finding one. With the coaching caliber as him, I think he's a good hire. And, yeah, I mean, Alabama's like my second team after Tennessee, of course. But I'm glad to see that they got Kalen. And I think that he'll do good at Alabama. My very early prediction is first year he'll be at least 9-3, maybe 10-2. So, and if he goes 11-1, don't be shocked. I mean, you see how he turned Washington around. At Alabama, you're not really trying to turn anything around. Things are already kind of going your way. You've had a few decommits now and a few transfers or whatever because Nick Saban's leaving. But, I mean, you're not really trying to turn anything around. Just keep doing the thing that Alabama's usually always good at, recruiting. Use the portal. And that's another thing I think that might help is I don't think Nick Saban used the portal as much because, he's not that he was old school, but, he was in football whenever they didn't have all this NIL stuff. And so was Kalen, but Kalen's a little bit younger coach. He might use the portal a little bit more. We saw how Dion did it. He didn't in the greatest season for Colorado, but started out pretty strong. Yeah, I'm excited, man. Congrats to Kalen. Congrats to Bama, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the bell icon, comment down below. Let me know what you think of this move. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.